I'm so happy that they're doing it instead of just thinking it. The terrorists are basically telling us that they're terrorists instead of doing what they usually do and hide in civilian clothing like the terrorists that Cenk supports in the Middle East. No, it's really nice of them, actually. It's really nice of them to go mask off like this. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Is your reaction to that?
Well, Piers, my reaction is that I think it's reprehensible. And I think it is part of a much wider pattern of behaviour.
Because these tweets, like thousands of people made these videos. Millions of people left likes on these videos. And I think that the government needs to pay attention to who's leaving likes on what. If you are using your social media account to push a message that terrorism in the United States is a good thing, I do believe the all-seeing eye of Palantir should be looking up your anus. I do think you shouldn't sleep comfortably at night. You are a threat to our country, directly. And I have no interest in the both sides.
Driven by partly social media, but in particular the hyper-polarization of American politics, which is part of a big trend.
No, sorry. Opinion rejected. Polarization. That's code for Trump's fault.
Of legitimizing violence, of making violence.
So what do you mean, who's legitimizing violence on the right? Has any person on the right legitimized violence? Dude, the left cheered when Luigi Mangione killed a healthcare CEO. All right, the largest leftist political streamer has directly called to violence against multiple people, told his audience to kill landlords, fascists, Zionists. He directly makes direct calls to violence to straight up tell his audience to kill Tom Cotton, a senator of the United States, Rick Scott, a senator of the United States. He justifies the assassination of Charlie Kirk. He refuses to condemn the murder of 2 Israeli staffers in Washington, D.C., right? Like, dude, what are we talking about? Is there anyone on the right that does this? Anyone? Anyone? Dude, there is no equivalence here. Nick Fuentes, who in my opinion is probably the most far-right public figure, all right, has never called for violence on anyone. Never. There is no equivalence. None. There is no equivalence. But January 6th happened, there was a protest, the gayest protest of all time at the Capitol building. That's right. That's right. You know what they did? They broke a window. You know, they broke a window.
An acceptable means of prosecuting your politics. Where I would disagree, possibly with you, possibly with other members of the panel, is that this is somehow just confined to the left, or the idea
it is.
That
it is largely confined to the left. You're right.
This is just happening on the left. Yes, there have been examples of that. We've just seen it just now. I was disgusted at the reaction to what happened with Luigi Mangione earlier in the year.
You know who wasn't disgusted? Thousands of leftists that did 3 Luigi riots and protests. That Hassan Piker, who supports Luigi Mangione. Again, I don't care about any of these people. I don't care about any of this.
Very similar sort of phenomenon. Yeah. But let's see where it's happened in other parts of the right. Do you remember what happened with Paul Pelosi, for example? Pelosi's husband.
Dude, every single one of these people is...
What was the action of not just some random left-wing account, it's not teacher, not whatever.
Oh my God, there were tweets. I saw some tweets.
Donald Trump Jr. decided to put out a picture of a hammer and some underpants and say, I've got my Paul Pelosi Halloween costume tonight. This is the...
Do you realize that these people tried to jail Trump for 700 years in the most unconstitutional, justice system malevolence of all time in the history of time? Like, what are we talking about? Also, no one is condoning the murder of Paul Pelosi.
Legitimization of violence that we're seeing. And let's just have a look. I mean, let's talk about some stuff.
He was almost killed to death.
Some stuff I've seen on Blue Sky, some stuff I've seen on X over the course of the last 24 hours. Liberals can never be allowed to run this country again. How can you coexist with people that want to murder you? If you vote Democrat at this point, you're a demonic, evil person. I will support whatever saves our country. Trump has a blank check as far as I'm concerned. I could go on. I could go on.
What is wrong with any of that? What is wrong with any of that? Again, I don't support the idea that Trump is a blank check or you are automatically an evil person to vote for the Democrat, but I totally understand the perspective. What do you mean? There are thousands of you that are cheering the assassination of a man for speaking his opinion. You are a demonstrably evil party right now.
And I could go on. And I could give a list of all of the many occasions we've seen in recent years.
Of course, everyone needs to do both sides. Yes, I know our rhetoric just murdered a man and thousands justify his death, but I really think this is a right-wing problem.
Of right-wing, hard-right, far-right terrorism that we saw against what happened in Minnesota. I mentioned Paul Pelosi, Josh Shapiro.
Not what happened in Minnesota. Far-right, the guy in Minnesota that killed those Democrat lawmakers was a Democrat. Was a guy who says he was friends with Tim Walz, who Tim Walz was friends with. Also, by the way, had the No Kings flyers for the No Kings rally in his car. All right, when he went and murdered these people. Okay, he was a leftist that killed those people, and you know why he did it? Because the two Democrats were pro-life. All right, so two Democrats just did a vote that they went against the majority of their party, and they got murdered by a Democrat. Okay, what are you talking about? He was appointed to a political position previously by Tim Walz, the guy who was supposed to be the retard, the vice president under Kamala Harris. Like, also, you're comparing the assassination of Charlie Kirk to people saying, I would never vote Democrat. This statement, I would never vote Democrat, in your mind, is as violent and evil as murdering Charlie Kirk. Dude, this is why people are waking up and realizing that these people are evil. There is no equivalence. There is no two sides. There's good and evil right now. All right? Stop being a bitch.
Really, just a matter of fact, investigators found in the Shapiro case online activity and writings that included extremely heavily anti-Semitic conspiracy.
Yes, because it was a Muslim. Fuck! What are we doing? It was a radical Muslim that tried to kill Josh Shapiro. Okay? Josh Shapiro was a leftist guy. They tried to kill him. You know who tried to kill him? A radical Muslim. So yes, anti-Semitic conspiracy theory is no fucking shit. Are you retarded? Are you insane? A radical Muslim that tried to kill him for the Free Palestine group. That's left-wing violence. But you think that because there are left-wing terrorists that we don't believe in Islamic terrorism anymore? I'm sorry, bro. There's a reason why the left and Islam get along so well these days. The unholy tag team, baby. What are we doing? Again, it's radical to both sides, obviously. But what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is what we have to deal with. This is what we have to deal with. They have to invent instances of right-wing terrorism to make it a both-side situation.
And rhetoric against Shapiro, who's of course Jewish and a Democrat, and in Michigan.
Yes, and it was a leftist that tried to kill him because he was a Free Palestine. Yes, just like how Hassan Piker incites violence, in my opinion, against Ethan Klein, who's a leftist and a Democrat, because he's pro-Israel. He's not even pro-Israel. Because he's not pro-terrorism. Same shit. This is insane. It's insane watching these leftoids dancing on this grave.
And even in the last 24 hours or so, what do we see from Laura Loomer on Ilhan Omar, the Democratic Congresswoman, Laura Loomer being a very senior MAGA person? At the end of the day, everyone needs to realise that Ilhan Omar is a bloodthirsty Muslim terrorist sympathiser who has no place in our country.
Look, I'm not a big Laura Loomer fan, but where's the lie? She was literally laughing after Charlie Kirk was murdered. She was literally laughing after Charlie Kirk was murdered. She directly supports Hamas, openly. She refuses to condemn Hamas terrorists. Where's the lie?
Presence in Congress is a national security threat, and she's an enemy from within.
I mean, I agree. She is. True. Yeah, what's the point?
See, the idea that there is something...
Does he really think that this is going to get me to say that he's right? No.
Asymmetry. The fact of the matter is, America and the media...
You know that Ilhan Omar is a Somalian lady that married her brother to get illegally into the country. She is anti-white, anti-American built. What are we doing? You're really trying this, bro?
It's a really negative cycle where basically the temperature goes up, and it goes up, and it goes up. And then sometimes some of the people who are responsible for that...
Democrats. Who murdered Charlie Kirk. Also Democrats. Yo, you should lower the temperature, guys.
Turn around and go, God, I can't believe it's so hot. Everyone is talking about it. Social media needs to actually be different.
What does that mean? What does reform mean? Does that mean silencing freedom of speech? Is that what reform means?
To be changed, Elon Musk has been pretty responsible for some of this stuff that we've seen as well.
Oh, Elon Musk caused the Democrats on Blue Sky to cheer for the murder of Charlie Kirk. Oh, Elon Musk did that. Right. The people that left Twitter and went to Blue Sky that are cheering the murder of that's Elon Musk.
But let's not pretend. If we pretend this is just a problem of the left or liberalism or wokeism or whatever you want to say, this problem is not going to be any better or get any better. Let's use this as a moment for all of us.
I'm really glad when people do this because they really they make it very obvious and very clear. Now, obviously, there are bad people on the right. There's bad people. Every human is an individual. All right, with our individual choices and our individual issues. All right, this is all true. Okay, for sure. But I'm not playing a two-side game. I don't actually care. I don't actually care. This is evil shit. It really is.
to look within ourselves and decide to be better.
Okay, we've been joined on the panel by PVD podcast Angry Patriot, Vincent Bouchard. It's been great to have you back, Marcel. Sorry it's in such awful circumstances.
I didn't recognize him in the beginning. He's the Patrick and David guy. He's pretty cool from what I've seen. I don't know.
We're talking on this Friday. Your response to what Lewis Goodall just said, that this is a problem on all sides. The political violence has been ratcheting up, and there's a collective issue that needs to be dealt with.
Well, Piers, thank you for having me, and hello to everybody on the panel. Piers, I'm sorry, but trying to compare a photo of a Pelosi hammer for a Halloween thing to somebody getting shot in the neck in front of his family at a campus is unbelievable. The fact that you're trying to make the two comparison is absurd, okay? And if we want to, since you're on the left and you have those beliefs, give me something that the left is positive about. Because from what we're seeing, they're pro-abortion, they're pro-celebrate.
I want to make this clear. All the deeds. I think this is something that I've been saying for a long time. Everyone that makes the argument that the right is bad and that they demonize the left just like the left demonizes the right is not true. Because the right wing, obviously not everyone on the right, but a very popular right wing perspective is that abortion is murder. So from the perspective of the people that say abortion is murder, the left is literally committing a holocaust every year, murdering 1 million babies a year. And still, despite the fact that a lot of people see it that way, they don't dehumanize you. Recognize what you're dealing with. I personally think an abortion is murder. And I don't dehumanize the people that are pro-abortion. I am not dehumanizing 1 million child murderers a year because I think that they're misguided and stuff like that. But to how dare you make this comparison?
Assassination, they're pro-open border. Give me something positive that the left is running on. Because at the end of the day, the Democrats, 35-year low approval rating. And Piers, I have to go a little bit deeper. I have to go, this isn't about left, this isn't about right. Charlie was a proponent, he was a Christian praising Jesus Christ everywhere that he went. And I think that's where we are, Piers. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12 says, for we not wrestle with flesh and blood. Piers, it's principalities, it's evil, it's dark forces, it's high places.
Look, I'm not a Christian. I do agree with you. I believe in God. I believe that Charlie went fighting for God, and I believe they killed him because he fought for God. And I think it's literally that simple. I think it's good versus evil. I don't think this is a policy dispute. And I think it's really obvious.
It drives me crazy, Piers, that we got to this point. And when Tim Wallace and these people are like, well, I woke up, I wanted to hear bad news. Hearing TMZ lying when their freaking people are back there cheering of a murder of a guy that did what here? He went to college campuses, he was peaceful, he just wanted to have a debate, a conversation, and it is the left. Okay, when Joe Biden got diagnosed with COVID.
Such a good example. When he was diagnosed with cancer, people on the right said thoughts and prayers. People on the left cheered because he wasn't leftist enough.
Cancer, who was celebrating? How many thousands of people?
Right, the leftists that were celebrating Joe Biden getting cancer. It was the Hassan Pikers.
People were out there praying and hoping for this guy to recover. Okay, no, there's something that's captured here. That image, that montage that you played, did you see the eyes of these people? Yeah. They're captured by something dark, and they don't even know it. Here, that's where we are. And I want to say something here before I give it back. Charlie was not murdered. He was martyred. And I want to say this in the Bible. I'm sorry. I never was this guy here, but we're at the tipping point. We are here. We have to understand that it's God or you're on the opposite side. And Revelation chapter 6, verse 9, 10 basically says, when a martyr's blood hits the throne of heaven, it turns the vengeance of the king towards the evil ones on earth. So for all the people that want to get mad and do something, stay calm and be easy, because God at the end of the day, Piers, has vengeance on all these people that are spilling innocent blood.
Are you really saying that the American right, the Trump right, MAGA, has not got a problem with political violence?
Are you comparing? By the way,
I love when they do this. They just expose themselves. They do it for us. God has exposed all of these people. He literally has. Every single one of these guys. Oh my God.
No, I'm asking whether
you have 10 years. Hold on. Are you comparing the two? Hold on. I'm not saying that the right doesn't get violence, but show me where they're celebrating the murder of a father on a campus. Give it to me. Who celebrate Luigi Mangione, where he's in magazines and girls want to marry him and want to be with him?
No, you just have the president of the United States.
Oh, you just have January 6th.
States Sun. You just have the President of the United States Sun
Who posted a tweet of a hammer on Halloween? It's the same.
tweeting out a picture of a hammer, making fun of a guy who nearly got killed because of a right-wing maniac. Please do not tell me that somehow one side is more morally superior than the other.
Again, you have to realize, Donald Trump Jr. making that tweet, that is one guy making a tweet, which was a picture, a joke. But by the way, thank God, Paul Pelosi wasn't murdered. You can't compare these situations at all. Dude, do you remember when Donald Trump almost got assassinated and everyone was like, oh, shame he missed? Everyone, dude. Holy fuck. And also, the guy that attacked Paul Pelosi was not a Trump supporter.
This is not.
No.
And just while we're talking, while we're talking about violence, what about January the 6th?
January the 6th! There was a protest, they broke a window!
January the 6th.
Dude, that's why no one can take these people seriously. Bro, Charlie Kirk gets murdered. Charlie Kirk gets murdered. The country, the people on the right in the country come together. The churches are filled. People are praying. Stuff like that. People are trying to become better people. All right? George Floyd dies of a fentanyl overdose, and they burned our country down and didn't prosecute any of the people that basically did that. Come on, dude. What are we doing, guys?
Where a MAGA mob decided to try to use violence to overthrow democracy.
We're not still playing this game.
How many people died?
Dude, again, and just bringing in the millions of illegal immigrants that are voting in elections, is that not stealing democracy? Dude, can you fucking suck on an arm, bro, dude? I don't know. Your boyfriend is very disappointed in you right now.
How many people, excuse me, since you're such an American historian, how many people died on January 6th? One, Andy Babbitt, a United States Air Force, excuse me, let me finish. A United States Air Force veteran got shot subsequently in her freaking neck. Hold on, why? Because she was unarmed and she was advancing to a hall. Please, I'm 100% I don't condone any violence, but the comparison...
Let's have some statistics. I have generic statistics that say that right-wing violence is big. It's been designed by retards that I trust.
is not even close to what the left does. They promote it.
Let's have some statistics.
It's our own government, where Ahmad Habib Abdul is a white man.
Now, I know you might not want to listen to the facts, but this is the facts. A study from...
Imagine being so smug after the people just killed a man and everyone celebrated. Like, dude, this is demonic shit.
The US government itself says that the majority of political violence in the United States occurs from the right. Not the left.
Oh, a generic statement with no source. Very cool, love that.
From the right. We have all...
Again, this is not true. It's so obviously not true because they label things as political violence when they're not, and they don't label things as political violence when they are. In my opinion, all the looting, all of the destruction of property, the lighting shit on fire, the attacking cops during every riot and every protest in LA with Mexico protesting and in over the George Floyd BLM riots. In my opinion, all that is political violence, but they don't count any of it. All right, like, dude, none of this matters. All right, George Floyd dies of fentanyl overdose, and that's a hate crime. They burn the country down. Irina Zarutska gets stabbed by a black man on a train that says, I got that white girl, and they don't count that as a hate crime. It was just a mentally unwell individual. There's no point to you listing statistics, all right? This is a left-manipulated statistic, all right? This is why you can't trust the media or the country. And we have eyes, so we know this is a lie.
So seen in my own country, what happened with the assassination of Labour MP Joe Cox, we saw what happened in Norway with Anders Behring Breivik, all violence on the right. I do not say, as you seem to say, sir, that they're one side or other is morally superior to the other. I do not say...
I do. I say one side is more morally superior to the other. We saw thousands of demons cheering that Charlie Kirk was murdered. Oh, one side is morally superior, right? You don't have to be such a fucking retard and say that, well, morality is subjective, and therefore, due to subjective morality, I think that, Hitler had a pretty good point. He was pretty good for dogs. That's what you're saying right now. All right? No one cares. One side is morally superior. Sorry, bro.
But there will not be political violence on one side or the other. What seems, and I find curious, is your belief your further that somehow one side of this debate is uniquely morally repugnant and one is superior.
One is superior, true. True, you're right.
Statistics are wrong. That's not right. Doesn't support what you're saying. And the fact
your statistics are lies. What are you doing?
That's the fact that what occasion after occasion shows the same thing. And like I say, January the 6th itself is literally the legitimization from your side of political violence at the highest of levels. What did Ron wrong?
What the fuck are you doing? He's playing the left game so well, but everyone knows the truth. This is amazing. Dude, thank you. Operation Let Him Speak. Bro, the devil has picked the weakest soldiers. Bro, devil picked all the gay ones. Thank you.
Trump do? When he got back into office, he bothered me with
First of all, were you there? Excuse me, are you in the United States? Are you an American
Return
citizen?
from the United States, but I don't need to be in the United States.
Okay, are you an American citizen?
No,
Are you an American citizen? No, I want to ask you a question, because you're looking down here reading stats and facts, and I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But this one, as an American, from seeing what they did, excuse me, I let you talk, please let me talk, okay? From what you need to tell me what the left, your darling left, has done to the Republican Party and Donald Trump alone for 10 years. They're calling for violence. They're Hitler, like Black just said. All the negative rhetoric. From the impeachment to shooting him in the head and him saying, I want peaceful protesting, all peaceful protesting. And then the FBI informant, all the confidential human resources inside the freaking part of Davis. That's a whole different argument to make that you don't want to get into. But as an American who lives in America and is a veteran, we see what's happening. I don't care about your chat.
We have eyes. We have eyes. It doesn't matter if ChatGPT uses left-wing sources to cook up and shit out some fake statistics. We don't care anymore. We literally have eyes. Bro is literally telling you the George Orwell 1984. Do not believe your lying eyes.
These stats, the left is the party behind the violence and culture.
You can't have facts like that. I don't think it absolutely
It's in the problem.
Okay, I want to bring in another guest now who will then join the panel for the rest of the show. Constantine Kissin,
Oh, babe.
host of
I like Constantine. I like him a lot, actually. I think he's great.
Trigonometry. Constantine, I've seen from your posts that you've been very personally affected by the death of Charlie Kirk. Where does this horrific murder leave us in relation to political discourse and the safety of public figures as a country?
You know, Piers, I don't know if I've been personally affected, but I know that I've received messages from hundreds of people at this point, ordinary people, many of them nothing to do with politics, never paid attention to politics, never really cared, who were horrified and shocked by this in a very profound way. And I think it's a number of things. You know, you've just had this very fierce discussion about political violence, and we're talking about politicians. But don't forget that Charlie was not a politician. This is a 31-year-old guy.
It's terrifying. Yeah,
And now he's
like we're kind of used to political assassinations. I know that's a horrible thing to say, but this happens all around the world for as long as history, for all of human history, there were political assassinations. Where people tried to kill Trump multiple times, and people kind of like ignore it. Multiple presidents were murdered and assassinated. They killed like a guy on the street, and a kid was talking to people. Like that is the level of dehumanization he's on to. He didn't have any power over policy, all right, but none of that mattered.
Two young children. I mean, I was putting my son to bed last night and I was thinking of his kids. And I know that millions of people around the world are thinking about that because they didn't see Charlie as a politician. Because I guess with America's history of political violence all the way back to Abraham Lincoln, we kind of
Killed by a Democrat.
know that these things can happen. But I think what this has done is it's taken violence into a whole new realm. It's taken violence into the realm of people who just have conversations.
Trump voters. When you call all Trump voters Nazis, are we that surprised?
And I think this changes everything in a very profound way.
I agree.
Of course, it has the potential to chill the debate, to scare people away from saying the things that they believe, the things that they think are important to say. I hope that doesn't happen. I know that my experience and the experience of many other people who do speak in public over the last few days has been a shock and horror and perhaps fear too that has morphed into resolve and the unwillingness to let this become the way that our conversations become silent, which I think is what Charlie would have wanted. But as for the debate we've just heard, look, I'm in a very conciliatory mood, and I think it's important that we're all responsible with our words. But I found it difficult to sit there and listen to.
I'm also in a conciliatory mood. I really am. I'm giving the ultimate olive branch to basically every single person, even if I immensely disagree with them, as long as they simply humanity. This is my conciliatory mood. All right. I think that even though I, vehemently disagree with people like Nick Fuentes or whatever, I would be so much happier if they joined forces with someone like that who will eulogize Charlie Kirk, even though we hated him. He will eulogize Charlie Kirk, and I would feel so much more human. That's the craziest part. That's the absolute most insane same part of all of this. Like, people that are fighting, it's really good and evil. It's really good and evil. It's not politics.
With this preposterous conversation we just had. I don't understand what, I mean, this time last year, I sat across from one of your guests, James, on that particular show, in which he tried to persuade me for 20 minutes that Donald Trump was a fascist.
There it is. And he does it every show.
That's how the left talks about their political opponents. And I'm someone who's not politically affiliated. I'm just looking at the facts of what I see. We have had, for the last 10 years, what has happened to the word Nazi as a result of the woke left behavior is completely unacceptable. This is a word that we had for a very specific group of people that was supposed to describe people who believe in National Socialism and fascism. These words have very specific meanings, and the meanings that they have are very important.
I mean, in my opinion, the leftists are going to crusade to destroy language for the longest time. Because again, I think, I think that it truly is an inverse of basic biblical values in every possible way. Every possible way on the far left. And I think the most obvious example is the way they destroy words. Because obviously God chooses his words very carefully. And they will literally contort and confuse the meanings of words to fit whatever narrative they have as often as they want. And I think the most obvious one is like, transphobia. All right, phobia is an irrational fear. No one has an irrational fear of trans people. That's not a thing. Homophobia. No one has an irrational fear of gay people. All right, so that's insane. It's Islamophobia. The fear for radical Islam is not irrational. All right, we have to stop, and you have to realize these are words that they've appropriated and wormed into our actual public discourse. Every single word is literally contorted to frame you as something that you're not.
To describe people who are actually of that opinion. And instead, both in America and here across the Atlantic in Britain, we've had, and we're not talking about people on Twitter or people in Blue Sky. I'm talking about David Lammy, who's the current Deputy Prime Minister, talking about a group of conservative Eurosceptics are saying that worse than Nazis.
There was just a riot, a protest, no violence, right? There was a protest in England, 3 million people in England, talking about how they want less immigration and stuff like that. They called all of them Nazis. 3 million Nazis on our streets. The retards in the government were saying,
what are you doing? And this, for a whole decade now, the complete dehumanization of people is simply having political disagreements. And so when I see that the killer of Charlie Kirk had these so-called anti-fascist inscriptions on his ammunition, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. Of course this would happen. And people like to pretend that this has no consequence. Well, think about it, Piers. You're a man, I'm a man. If you and I thought that fascism was actually real, as we keep being told, wouldn't we stand
that's right.
So can you really be surprised
They're all,
that some deranged...
They all justify a revolution in every possible way. They justify violence as much as they can, and then they say, oh, but I don't think they're violent. And they don't actually get in trouble. We need to start actually seeing what their words are saying, and not what the fucking disclaimers are.
Guy picks up a rifle and shoots someone who people on the media, people on TV keep saying is a fascist.
Like, this is literally a drug dealer that's dealing drugs, that's telling you all the good reasons why you should be taking drugs. And then right before you actually use the drugs, disclaimer, drugs are bad.
Keep saying is a Nazi is completely irresponsible. And I'll just make one other point on this, because, we've had this conversation. Lewis has talked about, well, there's violence on the left and violence on the right. He's right, of course. There are deranged people on both sides, and especially with easy access to firearms, there will be that sort of violence, like we have seen in our country. It's not just Joe Cox who's been killed in this country. We also had Sir David Ames, an MP, be killed in Britain too. And he was a member of the Conservative Party, killed by Nixon. And on we go. But there's one thing that...
Oh, and Islamist. This doesn't count as a leftist, according to the left. They like that game a lot. They like that game a lot.
No, a great mentor of mine once told me, he said, Constantine, the greatest insights come from looking at what is not there. And the one thing I have noticed that hasn't been there in my mind, you tell me if this is different for you, Piers, over the last few days, I've had no expectation that there would be burning looting, riots in the streets, attacks on police officers across America, all over the rest of the West. We haven't seen any.
I told you this guy's
we
great.
haven't expected any of that. And that's because political violence has been normalized on these far extremes of the left. And when you see those people celebrating, what they are expressing is now a widely held opinion, particularly
Yeah, that they should kill you and justify your death too.
among young people in the world. That if they don't agree with somebody, if they're not getting their way politically,
Kill them.
they're entitled to use
right.
violence to achieve
That's right.
that. We took cancel culture away from them when Elon Musk took over X and opened up the conversation and forced other social media platforms to open up the conversation. So now, instead of using cancel culture,
They'll kill you.
we've got violence culture. And everybody has to pull back. And I'm not calling for any kind of censorship because censorship will not solve this. But the people who've spent the last decade calling their political opponents fascists, Nazis, and so on, they have blood on their hands and they need to look in the mirror now and stop.
Yeah, I mean, Dave Rubin, I've been on this theme for a long time on this show, and I've got a book called, ironically, Woke is Dead, coming out next month. And one of the themes of the book is how radicalized so many on the woke left have become. And I don't for a moment dispute there are people radicalized on the right. But as somebody who used to identify quite happily as a liberal, I found myself completely disassociated from the woke left in a way I just never thought possible. That people on supposedly my side would start to become science deniers, biology deniers, but also develop this incredibly hateful mindset. If you didn't go along with everything that they believe, you would be cancelled.
It's complete and utter moral, ethical decay and hypocrisy. Okay, people like still giving them credit. It's like, well, listen, they have their ideas. It is complete moral decay. It is fundamentally adverse to the values of the foundation of the Western civilization. That's what we're dealing with. Ultimately, pure anti-West ideology. And I don't know why people are taking it seriously and making believe that it's not evil.
You've been destroyed, shamed, vilified, and now, as we've seen with Charlie Kirk, you'll actually be murdered in cold blood simply for having opinions that they don't like. It is, as I said at the start of this, it's unnerving. It's quite scary, actually. And when you see those TikTok videos of them so proudly talking about this, joyously celebrating a murder like that, I really do fear about what is going on.
Well, Piers, it's not even that it's about his actual opinions. It's about the opinions that many thought leaders on the left purport that he entertains lies. So look, I am in somewhat of a reconciliatory mode here. So I'd like to ask Cenk, I have 10 videos put up about Charlie Kirk. They are on his channel right now, and let's see if Cenk believes that these are true. Charlie Kirk says prominent black women took white people's spots. Charlie Kirk boasts about his all-white basketball team. Charlie Kirk gives piggish advice to high school girls. Ex-employee exposes Charlie Kirk's grip. Charlie Kirk embarrasses himself. Charlie Kirk's brain melts explaining anti-vax conspiracy. Charlie Kirk rants about women in their 30s. Charlie Kirk has literally no clue how the real world works. Charlie Kirk gets triggered, declines appearance over pronouns. Charlie Kirk doubles down on women-hating backlash. I am telling you, Piers, Charlie Kirk was one of the best human beings I ever met. He did not have a bone of racism, misogyny, or anything else in his body. But liars lie, and they gin up otherwise good people. From the little bit we know about this shooter, he had a stable household, he was going to college, he was fine. We'll find out where he got radicalized. But please, please, let's not pretend we don't know where this stuff is coming from. And please let's not pretend that this thing is going both ways. Because
dude, I am so glad he's doing this. Absolutely agreed.
Absolutely not. I also
Correct.
Well, you know what, Cenk? I'll ask you a question directly, actually. Do you think Charlie wanted to be martyred? Do you think Charlie wanted to be martyred? Do you think Charlie wanted to be killed? Yes or no?
Pretty good question.
Of course not. What kind of asinine question is it?
Please pull up the clip. Pull up the fucking clip. I know the clip. I know the clip.
Oh,
good.
You don't? Because that's pretty interesting. Because here's a video of you, Cenk, talking when Charlie was at a breakfast.
For these guys, and they don't deserve it. But I do also want to point out, as in they're in the middle of crying now, although Charlie was smiling ear to ear throughout the entire video, thinking, yes, I'm now the victim, and I'll get to claim that my rights have been abridged.
Did you catch the beginning of that, Cenk? Listen, we'll do it again.
No, I didn't, and that's totally out of. No, we're not going to do it again. Totally out of context. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
No.
What the hell is
Listen.
this?
This was an Antifa people threatening him with violence, I'm pretty sure. All right, Chank. Fuck you, man. Like, literally fuck you so hard. This is cinema. This is beautiful. This is in context, you fat, greasy, inbred fuck. Unbelievable. Holy fucking shit.
Are you trying to
listen
harm
for
on
1
me?
second.
Is that what you're trying to do?
Harm
loser?
on you? You call for violence on your show all the time. I made an entire video where you directly inspired the murderer of 4 police officers. Directly, your show. Directly. The guy reacted to your video and repeated the words that were said on your network and then went out and murdered 4 people.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No. I'm trying
was gonna
to
do
expose
conciliation.
what
This
people
guy-
like you
look at the
have
last
done.
Reconciliation is a scam. You don't make peace with evil, you destroy it. You are straight up, in my opinion, promoting terrorism on your show. Holy, this is unreal. Incredibly based Dave Rubin moment, holy shit.
Things that you're the last
No,
two said.
here's. No,
man.
what they
You
said
guys are
was, yes,
unbearable.
we should have reconciliation, but it is not without any contrition, right? It's not without
Agreed.
a mea culpa. Charlie was accosted by Antifa at a breakfast in Philadelphia, and the video that I just played is you with a cartoon of him as Charlie Brown saying that he would love to be martyred so he could be the victim. Well, I guarantee you, his wife, who now doesn't have a husband,
No,
and his
I
father
said it.
did not want him
That
to
is
be
what you
martyred.
said.
Well, it's exactly what you said, but it's exactly
said
what
it was.
Let's do it again.
No, it isn't.
Let's
we
do
just
Yell so that they don't hear the video, Chank. Yell, squeal, in fact.
it
heard
again.
it. We just heard it.
It's not.
All right, so
It's not.
okay, no,
Let's do it again.
Cut this crap out.
Come on,
No,
we'll do it again.
Piers, can we
We do
talk
it
about
again?
reality? This is something he's going back like.
I think Cheng should be
totally
allowed to respond.
perverting what I said there.
And they don't
Okay.
deserve
It allows for easy martyrdom for these guys, and they don't deserve it. That was when Antifa was going after him at a breakfast in
Okay, so let's
Philadelphia.
let Cheng respond to that.
No, that was about words, you moron. Okay, Jesus
Martyrdom of words, right.
Christ, man.
Of
All right,
course.
so
Easy
now let's get
martyrdom.
to reality, okay? Shut up. Let's get
Great argument, Chank.
to reality, okay? So your last 2 guests, while pretending to be conciliatory, one of them started talking about me and started talking about blood on their hands. And then this idiot
Agreed.
brings out a clip from 10 years ago that's about words and is pretending it has to do with violence. No show
Martyrdom, bro? Huh?
in America, non Young Turks have. Oh, hey, can I talk after being...
Dude, condemning violence is such a joke. All right, he will go on his show and he'll be like, "Yo, kill that guy." I don't condone violence. Unbelievable.
being accused of terrible things that I didn't come within a million miles of doing. Who did Charlie invite to have these
Accusing
conversations?
you for killing him. What we are accusing you of is absolutely 1,000%, 1,000% creating an environment where it is moral and ethical in the mind of a fucking retard to murder a man because you don't like him.
Me. Why did he invite me if I'm so bad when it comes to these issues? No.
Because he was willing to have a conversation with anyone. That's right, you killed the best of us. The best of us. I don't want to reconciliate with Chank or Hassan or any of these other fucking freaks on the far left that are straight up calling to violence all the time. I do not want reconciliation. I don't want that whatsoever. No, I want accountability.
It's because Charlie and I understood that we disagree. We can, David, let me speak. So we understood that we can have vehement disagreement, and we ought to that is true, but without
Are
getting
you going to delete any of those videos? Are you going to delete any of those videos?
to one
accusing him of
another.
being a white
We
supremacist?
did. No, I'm not. Because Dave, what you're doing is, Dave, will you let me
You
talk?
think he was a white supremacist? Was Charlie a white supremacist?
No, listen to me.
No.
If you're not going to let me answer, what the hell's the point of this?
He's asking if you think he's a white supremacist. He obviously wasn't.
Okay, listen. So do I still
On the verge of tears.
disagree with the thing
He fucking slaughtering this man, bro.
that Charlie said? Of course I do. I'm not changing my opinion on that. And all the
Opinion? You're calling for violence. Opinion?
items that you just read were very normal political disagreements. And none of the titles were there.
decisive move by the
Because there
Overdogs.
never
First
is on
cash
the
out
Unfair.
started.
And I abhor what happened to Charlie. I met his wife. She's still a human being. Look, guys, there's 2 things that I propose. You guys don't fed up.
Bro, you call him Nazi fascist. Why would you call someone a fascist if you don't want to kill him? I'm sorry. If you call someone a fascist, it's obviously because you want the guy to kill him, right? A fascist is an inherent danger to our democracy. It's a danger to our people. It's a danger to our nation. If you're calling him a Nazi, it's because you want to kill him. Okay? All right? Please stop. Literally, this is unreal. I hate playing this game. And again, it's not the same as when the right retaliates by calling people Nazis or fascists. They actually say it and they actually mean it. And justify your death. I made a video on this. Let's find my video. Where's my video? Dude, I made a whole video on this guy calling for violence. But yeah, I found it. This video, the Young Turks inspired. Retards. Like, it's so frustrating.
Oh, Jimmy's just speaking out of turn or whatever. It's not like I've directly responded to this. But here's the thing. He directly responded. Dude. You are right. Over teeth, the police officer responded because he was in the wrong.
But what's wrong with this guy? Is it like an hour thing? Is it roid rage? Is it something like really sexual?
Not white. We did this soon.
Oh my God! Radicalizing people was a white person. So the lie, that was lied about it.
Around cops, right? You're like, oh, you want to be like compliant, right? But at the same time, if you don't know they're going to slam your head into the car or something, like, you don't want to be so compliant. So when do I take them? When do I give them no resistance? When?
Oh my God! All right, so when do I fight? When do I give resistance against the cops? All right. So then this is Gavin. This is a murderer. This is the guy that murdered 4 cops. That's what he said. And this guy, by the way, ended up shooting 6 cops and killing 4 of them.
It's not really a person, but it is in a way. But I just wanted to bring up when the name of America,
like that
when they were extinct by the same people that were in the country, they were extinct. Tell me what you think about. At what point should they have stood up?
At what point should they stand up? It's the same exact term. And this video of Gavin Long was a reaction video to the Young Turks. It was a reaction video.
They mean business.
Oh my Lord. It's the same word. And in fact, he did this multiple times. He reacted to a whole bunch of the videos. And here's the really scary one. This is a reaction to the Young Turks made by a murderer, a guy that murdered 4 police officers. And in his glasses is the reflection of the Young Turks as he reacted to them. They are in his glasses reflection as he talks about agreeing with them to go kill cops and goes kill these cops.
Cops came in. You're supposed to be the de-escalator.
Bro, he's just literally repeating their words! Their words!
You came in.
Oh my God.
And made it war.
So in this video,
So here he is, directly repeating what the Young Turks are saying, while the Young Turks' reflection are in his glasses, and then he goes out and murders 4 police officers. So I have no sympathy for these people. None. I think I should.
Witness of both sides. No, now I talk. Now I talk. Enough with this, and they're not letting me talk. Okay? I go. Both sides of the line. You know, we know this better than anyone. I call out Biden and I say, "Oh, Democrats, are you crazy? He's obviously old. He's obviously lost his faculty, right?" And now this absurdity about how the right are all dangerous. Are you kidding? You guys didn't see January 6th? You didn't see?
Oh, January 6th! January 6th!
Attacking cops, raiding the council, chanting, "Hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence." But that leads to my point. Not that the right is more guilty. And I'm sickened by the trend that has now appeared on the left of violence. I'm sickened by it.
See, this is what I mean by he's such a fraud. He will, in my opinion, advocate for violence and then immediately follow up with, "I don't condone violence." I am sick of you.
So I'm proposed to two things here. Well, no way should you ever shut down speech. No way. Not right-wing speech, not left-wing speech. You don't shut it down with the government, and you don't shut it down with violence. So first thing is easy, the second one is hard. The first one is, on all of our shows, which we do every day, call for nonviolence. The minute you see someone saying something violent, say, "Don't do that." That is unacceptable. That is not who we are on the left.
Okay, good. So I see something violent. This guy, in my opinion, condones violence all the time. Supports terrorists in the Middle East. All right, when Israel took out the Houthi terrorists, he made an entire video saying anyone that supports Israel is a Nazi because they killed the government of Yemen. They did not kill the government of Yemen. They killed terrorists, actually, Houthi terrorists. And you may believe that they killed the government of Yemen to say that anyone that supports Israel is a Nazi, which is literally directly telling you to kill them because that's what you do to Nazis, right, Chang? So I have no sympathy for this shit. I have none. This dehumanization shit is evil, and I will not stand for reconciliating with people that frankly want me dead.
Not who we are on the right. That is not who we are as Americans. You can say anything you want. For example, did Charlie say things that were anti-Muslim? He did. Can I still talk to him? Yes. And
Yes, because it's an opinion and you're allowed to have an opinion.
I got peace for that. But guys,
Oh, you're so brave. You're so brave, chunk.
we convince each other if we never talk to one another. And now, if we start killing each other, it's madness. There's nothing wrong with disagreement, but there's something terribly wrong with violence and shutting down conversation. And then the horrible.
You're so brave, Jay.
Say the left.
What about when do you fight back against cops? What about that, bro? About that, Shankles? Anything to say about that one? When do you fight back against cops? That was broadcast on your show, and it inspired someone to kill cops.
Danger at ball 3.
Anything to say about that one? No, obviously not.
And the right. There is no such thing. Hold on, last thing. We're not ready. There's no such thing as the left or the right. There is only there are people that are.
You're right. It's about good and evil. Unfortunately, I think I know where I would place you if I had to. By the way, your co-host, a kind woman that says the Jews did 9/11, so obviously she's very well put together. This is her saying that it's in the same video that I made. You should check out the video if you want to see why the Young Turks is evil. Where she says you should fight back against ISIS. These people are such emotional little bitches. The Young Turks is literally just like crying grandmas getting together to pearl clutch and cry about random bullshit that goes on in the world. Like, dude, your opinion means so little because of how little it's based in reality. True. If someone's illegal in the country, get them the fuck out. It's that simple. Everyone agrees except for retards.
So just showing up at trucks.
You go and arrest people that are illegally invading our country and deport them? Yes. And it's incredibly funny. I don't care. That's because we have a democracy, actually. And now, being that we have a democracy, we voted for President Donald Trump, who ran on getting rid of illegal immigrants. He won, and unfortunately for you, that was. Now you can leave. You don't have to stay. Oh, that's what we're doing. Oh, it's not a cop. Oh, mother.
Okay, those people not to be treated that way simply might be undocumented.
It might be undocumented. Did they deport anybody that wasn't undocumented? The answer is no. There's not been a single instance so far of someone getting deported that was actually legal in the country. It didn't happen a single time for the record. That's right.
Those people that were violent acts committed, rocks thrown at them.
No, they don't.
Okay, they don't. All right. Pay attention to this because this is what I was saying the whole time. No, they don't deserve getting rocks thrown at them. In other words, I don't condone violence, but condemns violence.
Those people who do that get arrested, and they should be arrested.
All right, you should condemn violence, no problem.
Because they've been told the ICE agents are.
Cover the fact that in a city like Los Angeles that has a massive immigrant community, when they see
Yeah,
their
no one cares about the immigrant community. It's the illegal immigrants that are invading our country that should be deported.
mothers or fathers or family members rounded up,
Okay.
that leads to a lot of rage. And they remind you, I'm not.
Oh! But you're kind of endorsing the violence. It is amazing how they do this. You shouldn't be violent, but also, if they come from your family, you're not going to fight back. It's like, okay. All right, so you're endorsing the violence.
Saying they should, that is criminal.
They shouldn't, but they do, and it's good that they do it because it makes sense.
They should not be self-esteem.
It does make sense like that, right?
Let me just tell you something. If someone messes with my family, I get violent.
Oh! So, she admits she's a terrorist, question mark? Oh, you are the party of violence! Thank you so much for coming forward. Thank you for literally coming onto the show today. So they all do this. That's the Young Turks strategy. We condemn violence. Also, we should fight back and kill them.
Spend something all the time about the right wing, which is, guys, are they radical right? There are, right? But are they the entirety of all the Trump voters? Of course not. There's so many good.
So then why do you say that all the Trump voters are Nazis and fascists? Dude, you can't play this game. You cannot play this game. I don't care.
Americans who voted for Trump, by the way, some who voted for Obama before, some who voted for Bernie before. Same thing on the left. This guy's a lunatic. Are there extreme left-wingers, by the way, the clip you showed?
Oh, that one guy is a lunatic. Instance of one lunatic.
There's no prominent Democrat or left-wingers on there, but that clip sickened me. It's sickened me. So
Okay, but check. Okay, hang on. You mentioned that. And
Hang on, Big League.
there are clips of high-profile people saying that stuff. Matthew Dowd got fired by MSNBC within minutes, literally, of saying this. on the night that Charlie got killed.
Talk to me about the environment in which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, I emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any full details of this. We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about this. But following up what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that
Bro's wife definitely took the kids.
People just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place. And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
In other words, Cheng, he had it coming. And I found that despicable. I said it in the moment. He then got fired, and quite rightly. But there were lots of other high-profile people, actually, who weren't just TikTokers saying bad stuff. Just hold fire panel for a moment. I'm being joined now by Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. Lauren,
I don't care about Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. All right, not doing that right now. Don't care. We'll skip that to the next segment.
Kirk was murdered than you have done for many months. I found that a particularly disturbing thing that you revealed there. But I appreciate you coming on Uncensored. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pierce.
Well, to go back to the panel, I mean, Batia, the thing we haven't discussed in all this, I guess, is the guns.
Oh my fucking God, dude, we can't do this every single time. We can't do this every single time. This is insane. It's absolutely insane. The gun thing? Come on, dude. It was a gun-free zone. You were not allowed to bring guns there. They brought it anyway, illegally. Obviously, it's not going to matter. Also, he was shot with a hunting rifle, okay? A fucking hunting rifle. Stop. Literally, I'm skipping it. I don't care about the gun segment. I have no interest. Yeah, my God, guns. Don't care. Anyway, next.
When he said the left have imbibed this idea that to get what you want, you are able and should be able to use violence. I mean, come on. Yeah, go back to January the 6th. Because MAGA at that moment...
Oh my God! Oh my God! Go back to January 6th. Every time. Like, what are we doing?
Quite literally decided to use violence to overturn an election result. And let's just talk about violent language as well. From the very top. Donald Trump, fight like hell. If you don't fight like hell...
Oh, he said fight like hell in a political context, and you think that's violence. Dude, what are we doing?
Not going to have a country anymore. Rudy Giuliani, let's have trial by combat. Republican representative...
He literally said trial. Hello? That does not mean extrajudicial killings.
Mo Brooks, today is the day American patriots start down taking names and kicking ass on the mission.
You think it meant literally kicking ass? You think literally he meant physically kicking ass? Are we serious right now?
Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot. Instead of condemning it, didn't condemn it. What did Trump do? He said maybe it was a problem, maybe it wasn't. She locked down her state. Even on Mitch McConnell, his own Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, on Truth Social, Trump said McConnell had a death wish for supporting bipartisan legislation.
He said that he had a death wish that is not telling your supporters to go kill him. None of this is inciting violence.
That's not legitimizing violence, then I don't know what it is.
Well, I know what is legitimizing violence. Supporting Luigi Mangione, or this guy that killed Charlie Kirk, celebrating the murder and assassination of an innocent person. I think calling people Nazis and fascists constantly in the media everywhere. I think that is straight up telling you to be violent. Telling you that they are a threat to democracy. What the fuck does threat to democracy mean? You remember when Trump just won? That was literally the primary rally. Threat to democracy. Threat to democracy means they're stealing your country. We need to fight back with force. What are we doing?
Your response to that?
I have to agree with Lewis. He is living in a different reality, one with a connection to actual reality.
What's wrong?
What are you talking about?
Shut the hell up, let him talk.
You're comparing somebody saying fight like hell in the context of a political campaign with what I explained earlier.
Can you shut up, dude?
Are you capable of listening to an alternative point of view? Well, shut up then. Shut up and listen if you're capable of it. Now, you can't compare somebody saying fight like hell in the context of a political campaign with what I explained earlier, which is when you call people Nazis and shut up and listen to alternative opinions. Why is it that you people have a complete inability to listen to opinions that you don't like? Why?
In fact, they'll kill you for it. If you have an opinion they don't like, they will justify your murder. We're literally seeing that in real time.
Can't you just sit there and actually hear what I'm saying? You can't oh my God. You can't compare somebody saying fight like hell with somebody explaining that the country is an imminent threat of a fascist takeover, because an imminent threat of a fascist takeover is something that would actually legitimize you picking up a rifle and heading to the front line. So when you and Cenk and people like that call people you don't like far right, hard right, Nazis and fascists, you are creating an environment in which some crazy people, yes, of course they're crazy, will feel that they're entitled to use violence to prevent the fake fascist takeover you keep banging on about. And there is no equivalence between these things. I disagree, by the way. You know, Cenk is entitled to criticize Charlie Kirk and his positions on the show. That's absolutely fine. But when you label and smear people as fascists and Nazis, that is taking it to an entirely different level. And that is where I hope there would be some self-reflection. But I'm not seeing any on this panel tonight.
That's right.
I'm afraid.
I'm really glad that they did this. We're literally seeing the people that have caused the problems not take accountability for the problems they caused. No, this was amazing. This was such a good fucking panel. Just straight up to see how the monstrously evil these people are. There is no discussion. There's no reconciliation with the people that actually that are like this. The bro absolutely.
No, and it's interesting. I remember the Madison Square Garden rally just before the election, and I went to that because I've never been to any political rally for anyone. Trump said, "Why don't you come down?" I went down, and I was really struck by the fact that it was being branded by the left, from Hillary Clinton to MSNBC and others.
That's right.
As
You go to like a generic protest, right? You go to a generic protest, and they'll call you a Nazi fascist, justifying your murder.
Neo-Nazi rally. They compared it to one in the 30s at the Madison Square Garden, which was indeed a neo-Nazi rally. And I thought that was incredibly dangerous, but also incredibly stupid. There were many Jewish people in the audience. There was a Holocaust survivor, a prominent one, in the audience.
They call Holocaust survivors Nazis. Do you recognize? Dude, my grandfather is over 100 years old. He was a Holocaust survivor. God bless him. He reads the newspaper from cover to cover every single day with a magnifying glass. What an unbelievable man. He came from nothing. His entire family was murdered in the Holocaust, and he built a beautiful family. Nothing but respect. What a beautiful, special person. He voted for Trump, and they called him a Nazi. They called him a Nazi. An 100-year-old Holocaust survivor whose entire family was murdered by Nazis. They called him a Nazi because he voted for Trump. All right? And you don't understand. He had a passion. He called my uncle and he says, "Drive me to the voting thing. I am voting. It's our only chance, basically, for the country." Dude is he's a patriot. What can I say? Nothing but love and respect. I love my grandfather so much. Thank you well. They called him a Nazi. They called him a Nazi. Holocaust survivor. So that we're not living in reality.
Donald Trump, his son-in-law is Jewish, his daughter converted to Judaism.
That's right. And they called him Trump a Nazi. His daughter converted to Judaism.
The idea that he is the new Adolf Hitler.
By the way, you know what Chase is doing like his half grin over here? Chase calls anyone that is Israeli or supports Israel a Nazi. When Israel wiped out the leading leaders, terrorists, designated terrorists by the United States of America, he said that that's Nazism because they killed the government of Yemen. And it's not the government of Yemen, it's a terrorist cell. So, of course, look at this fucking grin. He does this.
It's been utterly preposterous. But to take your point, Constantine, I completely agree. If you are telling people all the time that Trump is Hitler and his followers are Nazis or fascists, then it makes absolute logical sense to a warped mind that they should be stopped and that the only way to stop fascists and Nazis is with violence. And actually, in their heads, they are doing society a favour. This is the right thing to do. So the over-demonization constantly of Trump in particular and people that support him, I've always felt is extremely dangerous. Not at all. And in fact, I completely agree with you when you say that there are many examples on the right.
Both sides. And that's why the liberal boomers, you lost me, guys. You lost me. It's not both sides.
But I do think that there is just over-demonization from everybody. And it does lead disturbed minds to believe they are doing the right, good thing. Now, I haven't heard what this shooter has to say. Apparently, he's not cooperating with authorities now. He's got lawyered up and is now saying nothing. But
literally don't care. That's the end of the debate. They bring in this guy. But yeah, no, I'm really glad that that we saw this. It literally just exposed these people because they have not learned anything. In fact, they've gotten worse. They are, and I say this, and I mean every word. The left is using Charlie Kirk's murder to villainize the right. And if that's not straight up evil, do not believe your lying eyes. I don't know what is. I am in the mood for reconciliation. Any person that is a true, honest to God, good person, 100%. My heart is open to you. If you are evil and support the murder of a man because he loved God, then you are evil. And I don't want reconciliation with you. I want evil destroyed.
Thanks a bunch.
Like, subscribe, and this video is streamed live on kick.com/. See you there. Stay weird, man.
And that's
Watch
a wrap.
out, over
This
here.
mega damage event was proudly brought to you by our generous seasonal
Enemy up there.
sponsors.
Time to bounce. Planting a mine. Danger and cash out C.
Contestant is fighting
Deploying at the side.
to get one elimination after another. Time to plot their comeback. The powerhouses better watch out.
That's a wrap. The high notes, the retros, and finally, the jet setters. The wait is over. It's game time. That stings. The Jet Setters will be looking to bounce back. We've got the Jet Setters. Zip it, go to cash out B.
Great enthusiasm.
Aim for cash out A.
Will want to loiter around. They'll be first on the payback list.
What a take charge attitude from the Retros. First cash out started.
Watch out, over here. Explosive mine out.
Going downstairs.
Using a flashbang.
Motion sensor.
Special delivery. Jump pad deployed. Explosive mine out. Using a flashbang. Explosive mine. Flashbang out. Don't wait. Watch out, over there. Flashbang. Setting a mine.
First capture goes to the Retros. Let's see whether they can keep that momentum going.
Proving the fundamentals never go out of style.
The Jet Setters has been cut short again.
They really hit the tarmac, Scotty.
Engage ball 2. Got it.
Jump pad here. Drop the mine.
Eliminations in the arena are about to come with an explosive goodbye.
Arming a mine. Lights out. Let's see them navigate.
Zipline time. Cash box picked up. Defend on me. Cash out set in motion by the Jet Setters.
Explosive mine.
Pad ready. Tossing a flashbang.
Nosedive for the jet setters. Team wiped.
Yep, they're out of fuel for now.
Jim, that one deserves a slow clap. A heist by the Retros. Nice steal.
Will they make this a spree, I wonder? Game show event is over. Time for contestants. Back in.
Respawn alert. The jet setters are back in action.
Explosive mine arm.
There was no retro rocket opposing the Retros' advance today as they accelerated to the win. The jet setters, the big splash, and finally, the kingfish. They're back and they're ready. Let's do this. Contestants will need to unload tycoons in quick cash. They'll need to gather cash first to win.
It's time to dash cash and hopefully not crash.
jet setters there.
I'm gonna jump here. Jump pad deployed.
The jet setters have respawned. Let's see how they bounce back.
Explosive mindset.
Big splash are washing over Vault 2.
Relocating. Arming a mine. Watch out there. Deploying a surprise.
I'm reloading.
Sprint to cash out C.
Cash box picked up.
I'm going up there. Arming a trap. Mind the mine. Watch out over here. Watch out down there. Jump zone here. Explosive mindset.
Going for the revive. Fueling things up.
Creating a passage.
Reloading.
Planting a mine. Watch out here.
Back in play.
I'm going to revive. Hold on.
Back in action.
Enemy up there. Deploying jump pad. Removing obstacle. Setting a trap. Jump pad ready.
Reloading.
landed a smooth victory in this match. Thanks again to our sponsors and to our viewers at home.
Till death do us part.
The Socialites, the Vogues, and finally, the Big Splash. Let's get into it.
Looks like we've just witnessed our first fight, people.
The Vogues just didn't come out on time. socialites are opening Vault 2.
Let's go. Watch out, over there.
Contestants continue to play high-stakes dodgeball against the skies above. Thanks.
Lost of mine arm. I'm going up there.
The game show event's done, and it did not disappoint.
The socialites kick off a cash out.
Collecting eliminations one after another.
Going for a steal on me now. Tossing a flashbang. Explosive mindset.
The socialites set the trend and clinched. Okay, the overdogs, the probes, and finally, the tough shells. Ready, set, unleash the excitement.
Ah, what a delightful surprise. I guess we're stepping into a realm made possible by CNS, but I'm certain our contestants will embrace the hack. The armor held strong, the tough shells get the materialization.
The Overdogs are starting off with our first catch.
Explosive mindset. Glitching surprise attack. Back in action. Legend.
First cash out. Good.
They're chasing down every opportunity like a pro.
Gotta reload.
Relocating.
The Vogues are re-entering the arena.
The Overdogs came out on top earlier. Prepare for the counter-attack.
One less enemy. Someone's worming into Vault 2. It's the Vogues.
Watch your step. Things are about to get a bit lighter.
Enemy over.
Gravity event, which June tells me has not led to any revisions to the standard model of physics. Thanks for that, June.
Threat detected. Jump pad deployed.
Down go the Overdogs
Deploying
again.
a surprise.
They'll dig their way.
They lost the sense of victory.
Danger at cash box 2.
The Overdogs are re-entering the arena.
The Vogues better be.
Blitz trap planted.
That streak just turned the tide of the match. The overdogs have been wiped out once more.
They're off to the doghouse now.
I think we need a laugh track to... The overdogs are back in action.
They're back and looking for payback. The Vogues might want to avoid the next encounter.
Explosive mine placed. Setting a trap.
Team wipe. Overdogs are respawning and are ready to show us a new trick or two.
Explosive mine armed.
The tough shells are taking control. Cash out in progress. Transcending realities. March like our sponsor is.
These contestants are putting everything on the line.
Arming a trap. Arming a mine.
Four down. Roof feels quieter.
Hack. Mind the mine.
Heads up! A ball just hit the arena! The Vogues are trying to leave their mark. They're unlocking Vault 3. The tough shells have respawned. The Vogues are back on the scene.
Fresh and ready to seek out the team that put them in the pound, the Overdogs need to be vigilant.
The Overdogs have commenced.
Danger down there.
Tough break for our Tough Shells as they suffer another team wipe. The Tough Shells are back. Team respond.
This could really shake up the scene. And next they'll be gunning for the Vogues, I bet.
Deploying a surprise.
Tough Shells.
Remember, that's illegal in many jurisdictions, but not here.
The Tough Shells displayed uncrackable strategy and armored speed with this win. On behalf of all of us here at the finals, thanks for watching.